The Colorado sun hit differently at 8,000 feet. Sharper, cleaner, almost too honest. Tom Brennan tilted his face toward it and let himself believe, just for a moment, that the light could burn 3 years of Chicago off his skin. For the first time in longer than he wanted to admit, his shoulders unclenched. He was halfway into that illusion when he noticed the car. It was parked near the edge of the resort lot, engine running, windows dark. Not unusual, not enough to mean anything. Still, Tom clocked it without thinking, the way some people noticed birds or clouds. "Dad, Mom says you're doing the thing again." Tom opened one eye. Emma stood on the deck with her hands on her hips, 9 years old, and already armed with her mother's posture and her mother's tone. Claire called it the look. Tom called it being outnumbered. "What thing?" he asked, feigning innocence. "The cop thing," Emma said. "Where you stare at people like they're guilty." Tom's gaze flicked, automatic, effortless, across the pool. The divorced dad overcompensating with cannonballs. The honeymoon couple arguing in whispers while holding hands like a performance. The businessman sipping bourbon at 10 a.m. as if it were prescribed. "I'm people watching," Tom said. "It's a vacation activity." "Uh-huh." Emma dropped into the chair beside him. "Mom says if you check your work email one more time, she's throwing your phone off the mountain." "Your mom's a violent woman." Emma squinted. "She married you, didn't she?" A laugh escaped him before he could stop it. Real. Unforced. He'd missed that sound in his own chest. Claire stepped out of the cabin then, sundress moving with the breeze, hair loose in a way she never wore it back in Chicago. She looked like the woman he'd married, before the job carved worry lines around both their eyes. "Okay, Brennan family," she announced, clapping once. "Today we're doing the nature trail, no phones, no work talk, no—" "Watching people like they're suspects," Tom finished, lifting a hand. I know, I'm reformed. I'm Zen. I'm basically a Buddhist monk who carries a Glock." Claire rolled her eyes and kissed him anyway. "That's all I ask." As they walked toward the trailhead, Tom glanced back once. The car was still there. Engine running, no one inside. The trail wound through aspens that shimmered like silver coins in the breeze. Emma ran ahead, purple backpack bouncing, sneakers crunching the dirt with fearless confidence. Tom envied that. For 2 miles, he did exactly what he'd promised. No mental case files, no internal checklists, no silent threat assessments. Then Emma screamed, "Dad!" The sound cut through the forest like a flare. Tom was moving before conscious thought caught up. His hand went to his hip where his weapon wasn't, because Colorado vacation rules meant the Glock was locked up, and Chicago instincts didn't care. Claire's footsteps pounded behind him, sharp with panic. They rounded a boulder and found Emma frozen on the trail, eyes wide, fingers clenched around the strap of her backpack like it could anchor her to the earth. "Baby, what?" Claire started. "Someone was there," Emma whispered. Her voice shook like the air before lightning. "A man. He was just watching me. Then he ran." Tom scanned the trees. Dense, shadowed, too many places to hide. His throat tightened with a familiar certainty, the one that always arrived right before something went wrong. "What did he look like?" Tom asked gently. Calm borrowed calm. I don't know." Emma swallowed. "He wore a mask, like a ski mask. And he dropped this." She held up a smartphone. New model. Expensive. The screen cracked along the corner like a wound, but still alive, glowing faintly. "Don't touch it," Tom said automatically, then softened. "I mean, sweetheart, thank you, give it to me." Emma's fingers were cold when they brushed his palm, too cold for a sunny afternoon. Tom angled the phone toward himself. The screen wasn't showing a recording. It was a live feed. A woman, mid-30s, sat zip-tied to a metal chair in a concrete room. Duct tape sealed her mouth. Terror filled her eyes so completely Tom felt it press against his own ribs. In the corner of the screen, a countdown timer pulsed in merciless red numbers, 71, 43, 22. Beneath it, a message appeared. Hello, Detective Brennan. Welcome to your vacation. For a second, the world fractured. Sunlight, aspen leaves, Emma's backpack, Claire's hand gripping his arm. Tom? Claire said. Her voice sounded far away. Tom, what is it? He turned the phone so she couldn't see. Not yet. Not with Emma standing there. Not with the forest suddenly feeling too quiet. Take Emma back to the cabin, he said. The words came out in his cop voice, the one that ended arguments. Right now. Claire blinked. No. What's on that phone? Claire, please. He hated how sharp it sounded, hated how the job was already crawling back under his skin. Go, lock the door, I'll be there in 5 minutes. For a heartbeat, she looked like she might fight him. Then she saw his eyes. She took Emma's hand. 5 minutes, Tom, Claire said. Not 6. Emma looked back once as they hurried away like she needed proof he was still real. When they disappeared around the bend, Tom looked down at the phone again. The woman on the screen trembled. A muffled sound pressed against the tape. A sob. A prayer. Tom tapped the screen. The feed froze. Text filled the display. Clean, confident, deliberate. Don't bother with police. Don't bother with FBI. You involved them. She dies. 3 years ago, you helped convict Marcus Holt for murder. Marcus died in prison 6 months ago, still claiming innocence. You have 72 hours to prove he was telling the truth. Find the real killer. Or she dies. Every 6 hours you fail to make progress, I add another hostage. The clock is ticking, detective. Enjoy your family time. Tom's lungs forgot how to work. Marcus Holt. The Riverside Strangler case. 4 women. 8 months. Bodies pulled from the Chicago River like discarded secrets. The evidence had felt airtight. Holt's DNA, his van, his breakdown in interrogation, desperate, unraveling, pleading innocence like it was oxygen. Tom had been sure. He had testified sure, and Marcus Holt had died in prison. The phone vibrated again. Oh, and detective, I'm watching, always watching. That's a lovely family you have. Tom ran, back through the trees, back toward the cabin, his heart hammered as if it already knew what his eyes hadn't confirmed yet. The trail stayed empty. Too empty. When the cabin came into view, a chill slid down his spine. The front window was dark, and in the reflection of the glass, someone stood just beyond the trees. Still. Watching. Tom didn't move at first. Training told him not to. Fear told him to blink. Instinct screamed at him to run, to grab his family and disappear into the mountains. He did none of it. The figure beyond the trees didn't wave, didn't threaten, didn't step forward. It just stood there, watching. Claire saw it then, the wrongness of a human shape refusing to behave like one. Her hand closed around Emma's shoulder, pulling her back from the window without a word. Tom, she whispered. What is that? The phone vibrated again in his hand. Relax. I'm not here for you. Not yet. Tom swallowed. His voice came out low and steady, even as his pulse hammered. Claire, take Emma into the bathroom. Lock the door. Turn on the shower. Stay there until I tell you. No, Claire said immediately. I'm not leaving you out here with Claire. He finally looked at her. The argument died in her throat. Please. Emma clutched her mother's shirt. Dad. I know, baby, Tom said, forcing a smile that tasted like ash. It's just a game some grown-ups are playing. Go with Mom. Claire hesitated 1 second longer than she should have. Then she trusted him. They disappeared down the hall. The bathroom door closed. The shower started, water pounding like artificial rain. Tom stood alone in the cabin. He raised the phone again. The live feed showed the woman, Sarah, eyes red, chest hitching under the tape. The timer ticked with surgical indifference. 69:41:12. Tom typed, "What do you want from me right now?" The reply came instantly. "Come to the business center alone. Bring the phone if you call anyone, if you warn anyone, if you deviate. The timer jumps 6 hours." Tom glanced back at the window. The figure was gone. His stomach dropped. Not with relief, but with certainty. Whatever this was, it wasn't finished watching. He grabbed his keys, slipped his real phone into airplane mode without thinking, then froze. Watching. Always watching. Slowly, deliberately, he placed it back on the table and left without it. The business center lights were on, humming softly, but no one was inside. 2 printers chugged through abandoned jobs, pages spilling into trays no one would collect. The air smelled like toner and carpet cleaner and something else. Anticipation, maybe. Tom spread the digital files across 3 tables, moving fast, efficient. The kidnapper's phone sat propped beside his laptop, Sarah's live feed running like an accusation he couldn't escape. The rules were clear. Progress, or punishment. He started with victimology. 4 women, ages 28 to 35. Different jobs, different neighborhoods, no social overlap. The only common thread had been proximity to the river, and Marcus Holt. Too clean, too convenient. Neat cases were lies. The phone buzzed. Good. Start with the autopsies. Ligature marks. Tom pulled them up side by side. He'd read these reports so many times he could recite the language in his sleep. But now he ignored the conclusions and stared at the measurements. Marine-grade nylon rope. 3/8 inch diameter. Standard. Forgettable. Until it wasn't. He zoomed in on the photos. Victim 1, Victim 2, Victim 3, Victim 4. Identical impressions. Same width, same compression, same tiny irregularity on the left side. 1 flattened braid, like the rope had been damaged once and never replaced. His pulse spiked. You didn't just use the same kind of rope, Tom whispered. You used the same piece. Now check the van inventory. Tom opened the evidence log from Holt's van. Tools, gloves, fast food wrappers, jumper cables, duct tape, no rope. They searched his apartment too, Tom muttered. Maybe he ditched it. His apartment was raided 2 hours after the last murder. No time to dispose of the weapon. Where's the rope, detective? Tom leaned back, breath shallow. Serial killers didn't discard their tools. They kept them, cleaned them, hid them. Unless Holt wasn't the killer. The phone buzzed again. Check storage unit 347. Tom frowned. Storage unit? An address appeared on the screen. Marcus Holt had rented it. Climate controlled. Paid in cash. Never searched. Tom grabbed his jacket and keys. The drive felt wrong. Too quiet. The road narrowed, trees pressing in, headlights slicing tunnels through darkness. The timer pulsed in the corner of the phone like a second heartbeat. 6403. 12. The storage facility crouched under flickering sodium lights. Rows of metal doors lined up like sealed mouths. Tom parked, scanned the lot, then moved. Unit 347. The lock lay on the ground. Cut clean. Recent. Tom lifted the door. Boxes filled the unit. Dozens. Neatly stacked. Each labeled in careful handwriting. Case files, financial records, personal papers, photos. Tom opened the first box. Manila folders, meticulously organized. Notes scribbled in the margins. I was at work. Verified. Why wasn't this checked? This doesn't match the timeline. Who had access before processing? Tom's chest tightened. Holt hadn't broken down because he was guilty. He'd broken down because he was being erased. The phone vibrated. Box 3. Box 3 held photographs. Crime scenes Tom recognized and others he didn't. Security camera stills, traffic cams, business surveillance screenshots, and in each one barely noticeable unless you knew to look. A dark sedan. Same car, different angles, same dent near the rear wheel well. The car Rebecca Chen had gotten into willingly. Someone scrubbed this, Tom whispered. Someone inside the case. The phone buzzed again. Box 7, bottom. Box 7 contained bank statements. Holt's modest income. Bills, rent, groceries. And at the bottom, a separate folder. They paid him off. Tom's hands shook as he opened it. Detective Raymond Sullivan, his partner. Regular deposits at first, salary, over time. Then, $50,000. 3 weeks after Holt's arrest. Another 6 months later. Another when Holt's appeal was denied. No, Tom whispered. No. No. His real phone rang. Ray Sullivan's name filled the screen. Tom answered, forcing his voice steady. Little early for a check-in, partner. Where are you, Tom? Ray's voice was flat, controlled. Out for a drive. A pause. Funny, I'm at the business center. Your Holt files are still here. Why are you digging into this? Tom closed his eyes. At the storage unit, he said quietly. Looking at what you buried. Silence. Then a breath. Then, fuck. Who paid you, Ray? Tom asked. Who really killed those women? You need to walk away, Ray said quickly. Right now, take your family and leave. Or what? They'll kill them, Ray said, voice cracking. They showed me pictures. Claire, Emma. They know everything. Tom's grip tightened. Who's they? I don't know, Ray said. Money came through offshore accounts, encrypted messages. But Tom, please. If you keep going, they'll kill your family too. They already have hostages, Tom said. Someone named Sarah. Ray inhaled sharply. Then you're already dead, brother. The call ended. The phone in Tom's other hand vibrated immediately. Turn around. Tom spun. Ray stood in the doorway, gun raised, eyes bloodshot, hands shaking. I'm sorry, Ray said. I really am. Tom raised his hand slowly. Don't do this. They had my wife, Ray said. They said they'd cut her apart. You should have come to me. Ray laughed, brittle. I trusted the wrong people a long time ago. The phone buzzed again. Check the feed. Tom looked down. 2 women now, Sarah, and another woman beside her. Ray's wife. Alive. Ray collapsed inward, sobbing. They took her 2 days ago, he choked. I was just buying time. Tom lunged. The gun fired, blasting into the ceiling. Paper exploded. Boxes toppled. Tom fought on muscle memory, on years of bad nights and worse decisions. The gun skidded away. Tom pinned Ray to the concrete. Enough, he shouted. This ends now. The phone vibrated once more. Well done, detective. Now the real game begins. Tom hauled Ray to his feet, keeping one arm locked around his chest. Ray's body shook either from fear or relief. Tom couldn't tell which. You're coming with me, Tom said. You're going to tell me everything, every name, every case, and then you're going to help me stop this. Ray nodded frantically. Okay. Okay, just please don't let them hurt her. They drove back to the resort in silence. The mountains pressed in on both sides of the road, black and indifferent. The timer pulsed on the phone, counting down like a verdict. 62, 48, 19, 62.4602. Every second felt borrowed. At the cabin, Tom locked Ray in the bathroom and retrieved his service weapon from the safe. The metal felt cold, unfamiliar, like it didn't fully belong to him anymore. Claire and Emma slept curled together on the bed, exhaustion finally winning. Tom stood there longer than he should have, memorizing the rise and fall of Emma's chest, the line of Claire's shoulder, the fragile normalcy he was fighting to protect. Back in the main room, Ray sat at the table, shoulders slumped. The phone lay between them, Sarah's feed glowing softly. Her eyes were calmer now, focused. Talk, Tom said. Ray swallowed hard. It started 5 years ago, the Morrison case. Hedge fund manager, embezzlement. They paid me to lose a hard drive. I told myself it was victimless. And then they owned me. Ray's voice cracked. Next case. Politician's son, DUI, hit and run. I buried the blood alcohol report. After that, a corporate executive, sexual assault. I misplaced the victim's statement. Tom felt sick. 6 cases. Ray nodded. 6 lives. And Marcus Holt? They wanted him, Ray said. I don't know why. They paid me to make it airtight. DNA, chain of custody, everything. The phone vibrated. Good progress. But you're thinking too small. Who did Ray protect? Tom scanned the list of cases, names blurred until one snapped into focus. Morrison, Tom said. Derek Morrison. Ray froze. He lived in Lincoln Park, Ray said slowly. Riverfront condo, overlooking the Chicago River, Tom finished. The phone buzzed again. Bingo. Derek Morrison. Hedge fund manager by day. Serial killer by night. Protected by money, power, and corrupt cops. Tom pulled up Morrison's recent activity. Aspen, Colorado. 50 miles away. He's close, Tom said. The hostages are near. Claire appeared in the doorway, pale but steady. Then call the FBI. Tom showed her the phone, the timer, the feed. If I do, they die. I'll go with you, Ray said quietly. I owe it. Tom studied him, measuring guilt against utility. You follow my lead, he said. One mistake and this ends with you on the ground. Ray nodded. They drove into the mountains under a sky heavy with stars. Tom's real phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. Front doors unlocked. Come on in. Morrison's mansion rose from the trees like a monument to money, glass, steel, light spilling into the darkness. Inside, Derek Morrison sat in a leather chair, scotch in hand, smiling like a man watching a show he'd already paid for. Detectives, he said. Welcome. Where are the hostages? Tom demanded. Morrison laughed softly. Downstairs, safe, for now. They descended into the basement. The room wasn't a dungeon. It was a production studio. Lights, cameras, sound equipment, monitors lining the walls. The woman from the feed sat in a chair, calmly removing zip ties. Detective Brennan, she said. My name is Sarah Holt. Marcus was my son. The truth hit Tom like a controlled detonation. Sarah Holt spoke evenly, without rage. She explained the documentation, the years spent uncovering buried evidence, the game, not to terrorize but to force truth into the open where it couldn't be denied. The danger was always real, she said. I just chose the battlefield. And Morrison? Tom asked. Before she could answer, a sharp crack echoed through the house. Glass exploded above them. Down, Tom shouted. Bullets tore through the studio wall. Morrison's smile vanished upstairs as chaos erupted. Men shouted. Boots thundered. Sarah's eyes widened. This wasn't part of the plan. Tom moved instantly, dragging Sarah and Ray behind cover as more shots punched through drywall. Morrison doesn't clean up his messes personally, Tom said grimly. He hires people. The phone vibrated violently in Tom's pocket. New message. You pushed too far. Timer, 01:14:22. A door burst open. Armed men flooded the basement. Tom returned fire, controlled, precise. Ray fought beside him, fear giving way to something harder. Resolve, maybe. One man went down, then another. They reached the next room. Ray's wife lay bound on the floor, groggy but alive. Ray collapsed beside her, sobbing her name. Sirens wailed in the distance. Tom looked up as FBI agents stormed the house. Morrison was dragged past him, screaming about lawyers and immunity and deals that no longer existed. By sunrise, it was over. Morrison was in custody. The hostages were alive. The evidence was undeniable. Weeks later, the documentary detonated across the country, not as spectacle but as proof. Morrison faced multiple life sentences. Ray cooperated fully, earning prison time but sparing others. Tom testified, resigned, paid his price. On a quiet drive home, the Chicago River slid past his windshield, reflecting the sunset like something almost clean. Tom's phone buzzed. Dad, Chinese tonight? Emma. My usual, he typed back. Some mistakes never left. But some truths, once faced, never let you look away again.
So, that's the end of this story, but there are plenty of other great ones right here. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that little bell.